Good morning. How are you today? Yes, so I am in the process of editing. I got a little late start this morning, but I've made some great progress on the feature film I'm editing. So that's going well, very, very well. I'm cutting, I'm up on scene 10, I think, and it's moving really well. Um, it was a little rough start on the film, but the story is starting to develop. And I think whenever the story starts to develop, the cuts go smoother because I start getting in the flow of the characters. I start getting in the flow of the characters. I start getting in the flow of the storyline. So I'm able to really get the pacing down. And once I have some really interesting characters, then it really draws me into it, and I make some great progress. That's another thing about editing. Once you have something and you're working on something that's turning out well, it gives you that little extra effort to keep going, to keep moving forward. You start to get into the story, and you want to see the next scene, and you want to see what's coming up next. A lot of times when I edit a project, I don't actually read the script beforehand. I don't know if that helps me or doesn't help me, but once I do the first cut, I always follow the script exactly. And I think that helps me because that's what I like to do. I like to take the writer and the director's their story and don't interject mine into it until later, until I really know the story. So by not reading the complete script, I think that kind of helps me. I start going scene by scene. So as I get the new scene, I read through the scene and I start looking at the footage that I have divided earlier, and I see what kind of footage I have to work with. I see what they've done, if they've given me any cut-ins, cutaways, close-ups, things like that that I need to be aware of as I'm editing, because I can know where to insert those. And sometimes I'll have to cut the scene first, and then I'll go back and do the inserts. And like, for instance, here's an example. There was this really good scene that I just finished editing before I jumped on here with you guys. And I really enjoyed the scene. There's an actress in there that's really talented. She's been in a lot of projects that I have edited. Her name is Kate. I can't say her last name correctly. Rulerson, I think. Kate Rulerson. And so she's a really good comic actress. And she does drama too. So I really enjoy working with her because she always gives me great material to edit with. I just have so many choices, and her consistency is always right on. So it's fun editing with great actors. It makes the job more enjoyable because you have so many choices, creative choices, and you can do different things with the characters when they're consistent. You can stop looking at if the scene is going to work, and you can see, what works best, which is the great thing when you're not just patching a scene together. And sometimes you have to do that. If the performance wasn't good or the scene didn't flow well, you'll have to patch things together to make it work. But usually with her, I have a great experience as far as being creative, giving me that ability to be creative as an editor, but still make it seamless, because that's the secret of great editing. It shouldn't be noticed, no matter how hard it is. To make it smooth, it should be seamless, so that the viewer, when they're watching it, they can get into the story, they can get into the characters. And then if you're editing with good actors and actresses, then you can actually, as the editor, get into it. And that makes it flow better, because then you stop looking at if the scene's working or can this scene work, and you start thinking about, how can I make this scene better? How can I make this, get the message of this scene across, the beginning, middle, and end. And so, yes, as a matter of fact, what I was talking about was a cut-in. So I look and I see if I have any cut-ins or cutaways. And there was a scene where she had an orange in her hand and she had started to peel it. Now, what should have been done, they should have given her multiple oranges so that if she did peel it, they could match that context. Or they could have taken an orange, let her do the scene, and then given her an orange and did an isolated close-up of her peeling it and her trying to match what she did. I love the close-up of the orange, but unfortunately I wasn't able to use it because by the time she peeled it, it didn't match anywhere in the sequence that I could use. And I saw she did one thing smart. She tried to put the skin of the orange back on and then started to peel it off. but it was clearly peeled off, so there was no way I could use it. But see, those are the kind of things that good actors and actresses do. They are consistent with whatever their actions are. Let me get a little bit of the sun. They're consistent with whatever their actions are. It makes it easier for the editor. It makes a better scene. It makes a better scene all around for everyone. So anyway, I worked on that scene, and it came out really well. And I'm thinking about, after I finish here with you guys, I might go back and do a couple more. There's a number of things I need to do today, but editing is the most important. I wanted to really put some progress in on this. Oh, and I wanted to remind you to go to my site again and check out some of my playlists. I appreciate all of you guys who have been subscribing, and some of you are here. Good morning, who have already subscribed. I thank you. But if you haven't, go check out my work. I focus mostly on acting, directing, and editing. Now, I do lessons usually for beginners. I mostly focus on beginners, people just getting into any one of those areas of the entertainment business: acting, directing, and editing. I've been doing it for over 35 years. And I'm also a consultant. You can find my link on my channel, and you'll find my website, you'll find my email, you'll find all kinds of stuff about me. And you can reach out to me if you have any questions or you'd like to work together somehow. But I really enjoy getting on this vertical live, because it's kind of like I'm just talking to someone on a phone call. And I can fill you in on what I'm working on. I can fill you in what's coming up next. And I want to mention before I forget, tomorrow, which is Sunday, will be my first my first live stream. And it's going to be horizontal. It's going to last for about an hour. But if I have people on longer and questions, I'm going to keep going until I answer all the questions that I can. So it's planned on being an hour. And it's going to be right here, Sunday, tomorrow, at noon, California time. That's Pacific time. I always get that messed up. That's Pacific Standard Time. And California time, Los Angeles time, I'll be right here on my channel. The link to my channel is right down there. What time is it now? It's 1:45. So I'm going to be on definitely at noon. But what I'll do is I'll get on a little bit earlier so I can make sure everything is working. I'm going to have the YouTube studio open so that I can see your comments better. I have a hard time reading these comments down here in the small bit on my phone. And I usually shoot on my phone. One of the reasons I shoot on my phone is because it gives me complete, as a director and editor, it gives me complete control of my camera. So I can do stuff like this. If I want to show you something on my computer, watch, I can turn and I can point to my computer. If I need to go closer to my computer, I can do that. If I want to show you something in my office, I can pivot. I can show you my office. So that's one of the reasons, and I've been considering using some software. There's bunches of software. Open Studio, Open Broadcast Studio, OBS. There's something that I've been using, what is it called? Streamlabs, I think, or let's see what that's called. I always forget the name of it. I like it. I haven't really got into it. Streamlabs desktop. I've used that a number of times to do some playbacks. So that works well, and I know it has the capability of playing my built-in camera. But I enjoy having the cell phone stream my content because I have that complete flexibility to move. I can fix my headshot. I can fix my headroom. Again, as a director, I hate that extensive headroom. Like sometimes when you're watching somebody in a live stream and they have the headrooms like this, it drives me nuts. But I can adjust my headroom. If I decide to move a little bit, I can move over here to the left. I can move over here to the right. So that's why I stay on my phone. Some people have asked me to use some more sophisticated streaming software when I've done my vertical live streams. But I just like this. It's quicker, it's faster, it's easier, and that way I don't have to set up everything. I don't have to troubleshoot if something doesn't work, because my phone seems to always work. I haven't had any problem with it. So that is why I want to, again, tomorrow, Sunday at noon, I'll be doing my first horizontal live stream. And I'm going to be answering questions and answers about acting, directing, and editing. And I hope some of you can stop by if you have any questions. And what I really am interested in, answering just general questions, acting, directing, or editing, but also if you're working on a project or you're thinking about working on a project, if you're writing a script, If you're doing a storyboard, if you're, you know, studying lines, I can help with any of that, answer some questions, give some advice. And again, most of my advice, all of my advice, comes from my years of experience of doing this. And I love sharing that. I've been a teacher also. I've taught digital video production. I've taught acting classes. I've taught filmmaking classes, editing classes. So I've worked a lot as a teacher. But I honestly tell you the truth, I enjoy the new online teaching stuff because that way I can help people who are working on projects and they kind of need help. As a matter of fact, I had a client not too long ago. He was setting up his first streaming system. He was starting out on YouTube and he needed some advice. What camera, what lights, what sound, you know, how to set up a green screen, how to film in front of a television. And he wanted someone to come to his apartment over in West LA. I'm here in California. So he was a recent client that I had and been working with him on and off. When he runs into problems, gives me a call. So yeah, I do that kind of work too. And that's what I enjoy doing, troubleshooting. I love trying to figure out why something isn't working. And I'll usually do a little bit of research on my own before I go. I try to find out all the equipment that the person has. And I do a little bit of research here on the computer to see what the common problems are, if there are any conflicts. And then I usually go and show up and help the person work through their problem. And also what I do too is film consulting. Like if you're planning to do a short film or you're doing a feature film, you know, I've shot and directed over 25 independent feature films, micro budget films, and a lot of them have been distributed. Some have been distributed by Lionsgate, from Buena Vista Pictures. They've been on Amazon. They've been, we even had a picture, one of the first pictures we did early on, it was on Netflix. So I have that experience. I'm interested in helping. That's part of the business and service that I offer here too. But everything else that I put on this channel, all my information is all free to you guys. So I'm enjoying my time here on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been on YouTube for over 18 years. I was there at the very beginning, almost 19 years. I was there at the very beginning, and I know YouTube just had their 20th anniversary, it was a few months ago. But what I normally do, and I tell people, the reason I am now concentrating more on YouTube and going through the monetization process is because I finally, after all these years of using YouTube only as a portfolio, that's how I used it. I have a lot of business clients who I do editing for, and you know, nonprofits, businesses, all types of clients, local government, city government, even some video I've created for the federal government. So I have had a lot of clients over the years, and I continue to have clients, and I had used YouTube all that time as a portfolio. I would just put clips of my work up there and create playlists. And then when a client would contact me and they wanted to see what type of work I had, I would send them a link to that playlist or a link to a specific video. And the reason I did that, it's going to sound funny because a lot of times when clients are hiring somebody to do a video, they think their project is the only one. Is the only one that's specific and unique. So they want to see something, which is kind of funny to me. It's always been funny. They want to see something exactly like what they want. Because if they can't see that you've done something exactly like what they want done, then they think, oh, he might not be able to do this. Or, you know, I send them extensive documentaries I've created. I can send, you know, intricate training and how-to videos, you know, and if theirs is, have you ever done any profiles for construction workers? You know, and sometimes I'll have the exact type and style and content video that they want, which is great because then they look at it, oh, you know, he can do it. Yeah, he's done those in the past. But it's so funny because you can send people, potential clients, something that's really much more elaborate than what they want, and then they'll say, oh, but can you do this? Oh, but can. So it's funny sometimes, but I understand if you don't have a lot of experience in video production, then you don't know that these skills are most of the time always transferable. You know, the main thing about video is it clear? Can it get the message across? Does it have a beginning, middle, and end? And I always pride myself, which was always a selling point for my business clients, was that I tried to take their idea and turn it into a video that people would want to watch. especially when you're creating videos to train employees. I started out years ago watching some VHS training tapes. I won't get into that deep story, but you can find that on my website too, when I first started in the business in customer service. But training tapes have always been notoriously boring and hard to watch and drudgery for employees. So I always try to add in a little bit of humor. Again, I try to tell the client, I know you want to get your message across, you want the employee to know how to do the job, but you want to make something that is not punishment. You want to make something that's easy to watch. And also, if possible, to have some enjoyment to watch. Sometimes people will let me sneak in a little bit of humor. That's what I would used to love to do. But that's always difficult with businesses because they're always worried about offending someone or something like that. But and I'm not talking about the modern day where everyone's afraid to say anything. I'm talking about years ago. Businesses always have to be aware that they're not doing something that could shed a bad light on their business. So, and I understand that. So most of the time when they were afraid, we would just shy away from the humor. But we would try to make the video still interesting, something that people wanted to watch, not something that was painful to watch. So that's a lot of my training tapes and instructional, even if it's something as dry as how to do your job, you know, as far as employee goes, because that's a lot of the videos I created also too, so that when someone was being onboarded, the human resources could use video to teach them some of the things they needed to know to start their job. And because it's a repetitive thing when you're hiring people, especially when your company has a high turnover rate and you had to constantly hire people and you have to constantly do training. So those are the kind of things that I used to do a whole lot. But now I'm kind of migrating here to YouTube. I want to do humorous YouTube original content. So you'll see a lot of that on my channel. Please go to my channel and look at some of the content there. Some humor, dark humor, comedy, some drama. So I've been populating the channel. Lots of educational stuff geared towards actors, directors, and editors. But then also there's that humor, because that's going to be the baseline, the base of my content. I want to create original humorous content. As a matter of fact, on Monday, I have a location down in Redondo Beach that I've been shooting at for almost the past month, shooting different informational videos, doing some live streaming. You can go to my website and find that out. I've done some live streaming down there. It's called Orange Door Spaces. It's a location for content creators, and it's in a mall, and they have over 20,000 square feet, I think. All different sets, all different kinds of sets for content creators to use. And it's a great concept, a great idea. I wish I could open up something like that if I had the funding, but it's a great idea. And I think it's something that could appear all around the country, because as malls are dying, these malls are still open and they need clients, and content creators need places to shoot. And so this is a great idea that I think its time has come, but it's called Orange Door Spaces. It's in Redondo Beach. You can look that up on Google if you really want to learn more about it. But again, I'm going to wrap this up. I like to keep these vertical live streams short. I want to remind you again, tomorrow, Sunday at noon, Los Angeles time, California time, Pacific time, I'm going to start. Oh, I just got cut off. So I'm going to start this again. Tomorrow, Sunday at noon, Pacific Standard Time, Los Angeles time, California time, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be noon California time. I'm going to start my first horizontal live streaming where I will answer questions and answers about acting, directing, and editing. So please join me. I'm looking forward to see how many people I can get on. And I'm going to have my YouTube studio open. I'm going to be still streaming on my camera so that I can pivot the camera around and move it around when I'm moving around. If I'm moving over to the computer, if I want to really pull close and show you something on the computer, I can do that. And I know there's other ways to do it with OBS and StreamYard and Streamlabs and all that kind of fancy stuff. But I just like to do it this good old-fashioned, streaming on my phone, and then I can move my phone wherever I want and show you whatever I want. But mostly it's going to be me answering your questions. And the questions, I'd like you to have questions about projects you're working on, projects you're planning to work on. That's what I'm really interested in working on, because that's how I work with people. I am a consultant also for, actors, directors, and editors. I even go out and meet people on their locations and help out whenever I'm needed. So that's a service that I do offer. I'm a consultant. But That's why I'm starting to do this live stream. Sunday's going to be my first one where I answer your questions and then promote myself, promote my channel, and that's the service I offer. I'm not selling any books or manuals or any of that kind of stuff. If I help, it's me. You get me. And I will bring all my knowledge from 35 years of doing this and help you out. And I always plan ahead of time because I'm the kind of guy that's open. If I don't know if your project is larger than my knowledge base, I'll try to help any way I can, but I admit it. I'm not going to come on and BS you. If I don't know, if what you're doing is more advanced than what I'm doing, that's why most of my stuff is geared to beginners. That's who I specialize in helping. Beginners in acting, directing, and editing. So I got you covered. If you're a beginner and you need some help, I got you covered. So we'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, noon. I'm going to jump on a little bit early to make sure everything is working, get everything ready. I have my stuff to talk about. If I come into a lull and I don't get a lot of questions, I have stuff that I can talk about. So I have that all planned out, ready to go. And I plan to be on about an hour, but if I get enough viewers and people have questions, I'm going to stay on to the last man or woman asks their question and I give them an answer. Or I make an appointment, I make arrangements to find the answer and get it to you. So that's something else that I do. If I don't have the answer, I can look it up for you. And on these live streams, I will be doing that. I'll take notes of what you want, and if I can help, I'll find out the information, and I'll get your email address, and I'll get back to you. No charge for people who come on the vertical, keep saying vertical, horizontal live stream. It's going to be a normal live stream. It's going to show up in the normal YouTube live stream section. And it'll be obviously on my channel. If you come back to my channel is listed right below. You'll be able to join the live stream. So please join me tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my number one. What I'm going to do too, which I haven't thought about yet, I might shoot a behind the scenes just of this first live stream, just to document it. If I screw up, I'll have a behind the scene record of my first horizontal live stream question and answer session, Sunday live. So I'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all you guys. Go to my channel, share it, look at some of my playlists, and I need to get back to editing, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.